Most people assume that the world's most famous structures are solid, permanent, and unchanging. But when you look closer, many of them are far stranger, more fragile, and more surprising than they appear. Some buildings grow and shrink with the weather, others were never meant to survive, and a few shouldn't even be standing today. Let's take a journey through some of the most fascinating structures on Earth and the unbelievable truths behind them. Let's start with one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. At first glance, the Eiffel Tower looks like a rigid, unmovable structure of iron and steel. But in reality, it's constantly changing. Because the tower is made almost entirely of iron, it reacts to temperature. When the weather heats up, the metal expands. During hot summer days, the Eiffel Tower can grow by as much as 15 centimeters, or about 6 inches, making it noticeably taller than it is in winter. When temperatures drop, the tower shrinks back down again. What makes this even more surprising is that the Eiffel Tower was never meant to last this long. It was built for the 1889 World's Fair as a temporary exhibit meant to showcase French engineering. The original plan was to dismantle it after just 20 years. Many Parisians actually disliked the tower when it was first built and considered it an eyesore. It only survived because engineers discovered it was extremely useful as a radio transmission tower, especially for military communications. That unexpected purpose saved it from demolition and turned a temporary structure into a global icon. Next, let's travel to Italy and look at a building famous not for standing straight, but for leaning. The Leaning Tower of Pisa began tilting shortly after construction started in the 12th century. Surprisingly, the problem wasn't poor design or careless construction. The real issue was the ground beneath it. The tower's foundation was built on a mix of soft clay, sand, and silt, which couldn't properly support its weight. As the structure grew taller, one side began sinking faster than the other. Over centuries, the tower continued to lean more and more, eventually reaching a dangerous angle of nearly 5.5 degrees. For a long time, engineers feared it would collapse entirely. But in a strange twist, the very thing that caused the problem may have helped save it. Scientists believe the soft soil beneath the tower absorbed seismic energy during earthquakes, reducing the stress on the structure. In the late 20th century, major stabilization efforts finally secured the tower, allowing it to remain standing and leaning safely today. Now let's head far north, to a place where buildings aren't meant to last at all. In Joanbanjo, Sweden, there's a hotel that disappears every year. The Ice Hotel is one of the most unique structures on Earth because it is rebuilt from scratch every winter. When temperatures drop, artists harvest massive blocks of ice from the nearby Torna River and use them to construct the entire hotel. The rooms, beds, furniture, sculptures, and even the glasses at the bar are all made of ice and snow. When spring arrives, the Ice Hotel melts away completely, returning to the river it came from. Every year, a new team of artists creates an entirely new design, making the hotel both a place to stay and a temporary art exhibition. Guests know that the building they're sleeping in won't exist a few months later, and that's exactly what makes it special. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood structures in human history, the Great Wall of China. Most people imagine the Great Wall as a single, unbroken wall stretching endlessly across the country, but that image is misleading. The Great Wall is actually a massive network of walls, forts, watchtowers, trenches, and natural barriers built by different Chinese dynasties over more than 600 years. Construction began as early as the 7th century BC, and the wall was never built all at once. Sections were constructed, abandoned, rebuilt, and reconnected depending on military threats and political priorities. That's why some parts are made of stone and brick, while others are built from packed earth or even wood. The wall looks different across regions because it reflects thousands of years of changing strategy and available resources. One of the most surprising engineering secrets behind the wall's durability lies in its mortar. During the Ming Dynasty, builders mixed slaked lime with sticky rice soup. This unusual combination created a mortar that was incredibly strong and water-resistant. Modern tests have shown that this ancient mixture helped the wall survive earthquakes, erosion, and centuries of harsh weather. Rather than being a single structure, The Great Wall represents thousands of years of innovation, experimentation, and persistence, making it one of the longest and most complex construction projects ever undertaken by humans. Finally, let's end with a clever architectural trick from modern history. In New York City, the Chrysler Building became the tallest building in the world thanks to secrecy. During the late 1920s, there was an intense race to build the tallest skyscraper. While competing architects were closely watching each other's progress, the Chrysler Building's architect secretly assembled a 125-foot steel spire inside the building itself. At the last moment, the spire was lifted through the roof and installed, pushing the building's height to 1,046 feet and instantly making it the tallest structure on Earth, beating its rival by just a few feet. The building held the title for less than a year before the Empire State Building surpassed it, but the bold move cemented the Chrysler Building's place in architectural history. When you look at these structures together, one thing becomes clear: buildings aren't just static objects. They grow, lean, melt, disappear, and sometimes even cheat their way into the record books. Behind every famous structure is a story far more fascinating than its appearance suggests.